Hello, and welcome to another stream of me attempting mock cars passages very helpfully posted on the Jack Westin website. I am a non-traditional pre-med back in school after working in the allied healthcare field for several years. I'm preparing for the AAMC's MCAT exam, finishing some university courses, and participating in a bunch of systematic research projects. Join me almost every day as I attempt these passages and get better at solving them along with me. I am new to YouTube streaming, so I thank you for your patience as I figure out how to continually improve the quality of my streams. Today is Friday, October 14th, 2022. I've lit my candle. I've also got a warm cup of coffee and some dates with almonds to snack on. So please go ahead and grab your drink of choice and snacks, and let's begin. I'm going to share my screen. And today I'm trying out, my audio is awful. I had been using the mic for that's my AirPod mic, and I think that's not working out so great. And also, I hadn't muted my laptop earlier, so I'm not sure if this is going to be better or not. But um, I am working on getting some gear for streaming, hopefully soon. But for now, this will do. This just helps me stay productive as I will be doing these questions anyways. So it's just fun to record myself, I suppose. Okay, so let me just check if I am sharing. Yes, it is seen, and I can still see the audio is good. All right. So I will go ahead today's, and as always, if you would like to pull up this website, jackweston.com/daily/MCAT passages/cars practice passages, or just go to the Jack Westin website and you will be able to find, you do have to sign up. It's completely free to sign up. And they helpfully have all of these passages to do, and they have daily MCAT passages for cars and other disciplines as well. I just do the cars passages for now. So today they've labeled it Pablo Picasso, and it's got, we have 6 questions. I do have another stream that I'm doing ambitiously. I'm doing 2 streams. And it's supposed to be a non-study stream, so I have to do that right after this. Okay, so let's read it. Above all, Picasso suffers from being taken too seriously. He recognizes this himself, and it is one of the ironical themes of some of his drawings. The indignant take him too seriously because they attach too much importance to the mad prices his works fetch, and so assume that he, instead of his hangers-on, is a racketeer. The ostentatiously tolerant take him too seriously because they forgive him his excesses on the ground that when he wants to be, he is a great draughtsman. In fact, this is untrue. His best drawings, if compared to those of other famous artists like Grécault, Daumier, or Goya, appear brilliant but not profoundly better. Picasso's future reputation as a great artist would not, as is so often said, be guaranteed by his realistic works alone. The enthusiastic take him too seriously because they believe that every mark he has made, the date on which he made it, and the address he happened to be living at are of great significance. The critical minority in the Communist Party take him too seriously because they consider him capable of being a great socialist artist and assume that his political allegiance is the result of dialectical thinking rather than a revolutionary instinct. People take him too seriously because they assume he is what they want him to be. Picasso, we should instead recognize, is essentially an improviser. And if the word improvisation conjures up amongst other things, associations of the clown and the mimic, they also apply. His importance comes from the fact that he experiments with styles and with whatever material or ideas come his way, living through a period of colossal confusion in which so many values, both human and cultural, have disintegrated. Picasso has seized upon the bits, the fragments, and smithereens, and the magnificent defiance and vitality made something of them to amuse us, shock us, but primarily to demonstrate us by the example of his spirit within the confusion out of degrees, new ideas, new values, new ways of looking at the world can and will develop. His achievement is not that where was I? I got distracted because I got a phone call. It happens. This is live. I'm just going to leave a message. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so his achievement is not that he himself has developed these things, but that he tries them here or there, uses them where he feels they fit, and tries again with new materials or ideas. Obviously, this shorthand view of Picasso oversimplifies, but it does, I think, go some way to explaining other facts about him. The element of caricature in all his work, the extraordinary confidence behind every mark he makes. It is the confidence of the born performer, the failure of all his disciplines. If he were a profoundly constructive artist, this would not be so. The amazing multiplicity of his styles, the sense that by comparison with any other great artist, any single work by Picasso seems unfinished. The truth behind many of his enigmatic statements, in my opinion, to search means nothing in painting. To find is the thing. Look at the drawing of the hands and feet in Guernica. They are based on the work of an efficient cartoonist. They represent no more than the idea of hands and feet, and this is why Guernica can still strike our hearts until we are forced to make resolutions. The ideas of hands, feet, a horse's head, a naked electric light bulb, a mother and ravaged child are all equally heart-rendingly and entirely dominated by the idea of the painting. All these different styles are drawn together in an experiment to represent the horror at human brutality. And this passage is written by John Berger, and it's called Pablo Picasso. And it was written in 1955. Just a word about this passage. These passages, if you haven't done them before, you're not supposed to know any of the information or like Picasso's painting or anything about art, for example, beforehand. You're not expected to know the questions are going to ask you, they're going to stick to the passage, the information presented in the passage. So, like it says, CARS, critical analysis, you have to critically analyze this passage and best answer the questions based on the passage. So I don't know anything about these paintings, these artworks, and especially the political associations that certain people are making. However, and I really want to see a Picasso painting so I could judge for myself, or like these artists, Gurko, Damir, Goa, but we're not supposed to know that. Okay. Um, I do find this passage a little bit more difficult than the one that I did yesterday. So there's that. I might be rereading this as well, a little bit more. So the first question is, the author claims that Picasso's fame is not rooted in his skill at creating realistic art. Which of the following statements by the author provides the strongest support for this claim? The author claims that Picasso's fame is not rooted in his skill at creating realistic art. Which of the following statements by the author provides the strongest support for this claim? Picasso's realistic drawings are not markedly better than those of other artists. Many who believe Picasso to be important trumpet his ability to sketch well. People take Picasso too seriously. Picasso's fans are biased towards his work. Picasso's fame is not rooted in his skill at creating realistic art. Well, I have seen some Picasso's work, so yeah, but which statements represent that? Picasso's realistic drawings are not markedly better than those of other artists. I don't think that is anywhere in the passage. Okay. Let's see. Too seriously, forget him. His best drawings, if compared to those other famous, like these artists, appear brilliant, but not profoundly better. Okay, so here's where it says, Picasso's future reputation as a great artist would not, as is so often, be guaranteed by his realistic works alone. Okay. The enthusiastic take him too seriously because they believe da da da. So why is it that a realistic art is right here? Oh, I guess this one then, right? Because where it mentions that these are probably more realistic, so creating realistic art. So he's not as skilled at creating realistic art because realistic drawings are not markedly better than those of other artists. I would say this one. And that is the correct answer. This is correct. Paragraph 2 mentions that Picasso's realistic work was not clearly better than those of other painters. Okay. So the passage main idea, this is kind of like cheating, I feel like. Before you're done all of the questions, you really shouldn't read this because you're supposed to extract the main idea yourself. But here I see it, so I'm going to say Picasso's importance come from the fact that he experiments. Okay. According to the passage, someone interested in Picasso should focus primarily on which of the following aspects of his work? How finished his paintings were, what his subjects were, his attempts at using new ideas and ingredients, why Picasso is fondly remembered. Okay, so I think it was here, maybe. I think go some way to explaining other facts about him, the element of character in all his work, the extraordinary confidence behind every mark he makes. It is the confidence of the born performer, the failure of all his disciples. If he were a profoundly constructive artist, this would not be so. The amazing multiplicity of his styles, the sense that by comparison with any other great artist, any single work by Picasso seems unfinished. The truth behind many of his enigmatic statements, in my opinion, to search means nothing in painting. To find is the thing. Okay. So this is definitely wrong. How finished, because his paintings, well, someone in how finished his paintings were. Well, this is questioning how finished it. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it does leave one. I mean, in this passage, the author is even saying that they seem unfinished. What his subjects were, his attempts at using new ideas and ingredients, why Picasso is so fondly remembered. According to the boss, someone interested in Picasso should focus primarily on which of the following aspects of his work. Look at the drawings of the hands. They are based on work of an efficient cartoonist. They represent no more than the idea of hands and feet. But so this is now mentioning Guernica, like another artist. Oh, wait. Hands and feet in Guernica. Is it one of Picasso's paintings? This way, Guernica can still strike our hearts until we are forced to make resolutions, ideas. There you go. Ideas and ingredients. Okay. Perhaps his attempts at using ideas and new ideas and ingredients. Okay, this is the best answer because C is the best answer because it resembles the main idea. The author wants readers to focus on how Picasso liked to experiment, to try untested ways of making art. Great. Third question, which of the following, if assumed to be true, would provide the best evidence to support the author's assessment of why Picasso is a great artist? Picasso's last apprentices created famously innovative art after his death. Picasso's Guernica was considered a masterpiece right after it was painted. Picasso received little actual formal training as an artist. Okay, so we're not supposed to know this, and this information is not going to be in the passage, but if assumed to be true, would be the best evidence to support the author's assessment of why Picasso is a great artist. So, Picasso received little actual formal training as an artist. Most of Picasso's work was not released to the general public. So now, again, his experiments, his willingness to experiment compared to other artists. That would be the main idea, right? That would be his greatest quality and would best evidence to support the author's assessment of why Picasso is a great artist. Because you can see his experimentation, you can see his incorporation of those novel ideas and ingredients as it said in the previous question, right? Picasso's last apprentices created famously innovative art. So innovative is new, right? After his death. Picasso's Guernica was considered a masterpiece right after it was painted. Masterpiece, is a masterpiece necessarily like a new style? Like is it presenting a new style? Not necessarily, right? Picasso received little actual formal training as an artist. The passage doesn't really go into him being great due to his natural talent or something, so I wouldn't think so. Most of Picasso's work was not released to the general public. I don't know. I would say this one. Oh, good. A is the correct answer. This is the best answer. A is correct because if Picasso's lost apprentices were innovators, that would help support the argument that Picasso was an innovator as well, perhaps because they learned how to innovate from Picasso. Great. This was a difficult question because a lot of people chose C, a lot of people chose B, and C, let's see the reasoning behind C that was why it was incorrect. Picasso's lack of formal training would not clearly support the answer choice because it does not directly speak towards Picasso's status as an experimenter. B is incorrect because there is no clear relationship between how Picasso's work was received when he painted it and the claims regarding Picasso's status as a great artist. All right, let's move on to question number 4. An art student is given an assignment to produce a work that is in keeping with Picasso's work. What advice would the author be most likely to give this person? Avoid realism in your paintings, combine different elements from Picasso's paintings. Do not worry about being creative, use unusual and untested methods of painting. Right off the bat, I feel like it would be use unusual and untested methods of painting because that's pretty experimental. That is correct. This is correct. D most resembles the passage argument, since following such a direction would help the student emulate Picasso's own methods. Question number 5. What does the 6th paragraph imply about performers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Obviously, this shorthand view of Picasso oversimplifies, but it does, I think, go some way to explaining other facts about him. The element of caricature in all his work, the extraordinary confidence behind every mark he makes. It is the confidence of the born performer, the failure of all his um, disciples. If he were a profoundly constructive artist, this would not be so. The amazing multiplicity of his styles, the sense that by comparison with any other great artist, any single work by Picasso seems unfinished. The truth behind many of his enigmatic statements, in my opinion, I don't know why I read it again. I still don't comprehend it for some reason. I was just reading it and not focusing on what it says. What does the 6th paragraph imply about performers? Okay. Performers. Is this the 6th paragraph? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is the 6th. What does it say? Okay. Oh, okay. It is the confidence of the born performer. Oh, the failure of all his disciples. If he were a profoundly constructive artist, this would not be so. Um, well, they're implying here that he's born the amazing multiplicity of his styles, the sense that by comparison with any other artist, any single work by Picasso seems unfinished. Okay. They can utilize different styles. Confident ones are artists. Not all of them are confident. Artists are a type of performer. Obviously, it's a subview. I think the extraordinary confidence behind every remark he makes. It is the confidence of a born performer. Well, he is a performer. Artist or a type of performer? I would say D. Ah, I am incorrect. Okay, that's fine. C is the C correct answer is C. This is the best answer. If the passage mentions that there is a confidence typical of born performers, it follows that performers who are not born performers may not be confident. Most people chose D, like me, so why is D incorrect? The passage does not draw a strong enough relationship between artists and performers for D to be correct, since it only compares a performer's confidence to an artist, not a performer to an artist. Okay. And here is the last question. Implicit in the passage is the assumption that never before seen methods and ideas can be positive traits of a work of art. Picasso was not as great an artist as Gercult, Damier, and Goya were. Picasso is not as famous today as he could be. While he was alive, Picasso's works were not fully appreciated. Hmm. I would say A. Okay, A, that's the correct answer. This is the best answer. If Picasso is so great because he was an experimenter, then the passage must assume that experimentation can make works of art good. And we are done. So you see how um, extracting the main idea from the passage really helps with solving these questions. So here the main idea was that Picasso was a great artist due to his experimental style, right? So knowing that definitely would help in solving these questions. Well, that's it for today, and we're done in 28 minutes. That's awesome because that's even faster than yesterday. I got one wrong. Quite as upset about that. I mean, I really would like to have like a streak, right? That would be just terrific. However, no worries at all. We're gonna get better at this. I'm gonna get better at this by doing it every day, hopefully, right? If you found my video or stream today helpful or enjoyable, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below. I would love to hear where you are watching from and how your medical school admission journey is going. Thank you for watching and being patient as I continue to learn how to improve the quality of my pre-recorded videos and live streams. I have looked at some microphones and have decided that I will gift that to myself after I've written 2 exams by the end of October. Um, but until next time, don't have a good day, but a great day. Stay awesome. Bye.